Cantor come off the bench. Cantor and Waiters are the question marks, but their strengths are Donovan's already got them moving the ball, passing it instead of running up the floor with it. They were shooting 67% at the start of the game tonight against the team that was supposedly the best defensive team in the league after the All-Star game last year, Utah. They're just going to be crazy good this year. Their depth is crazy. They've got versatility. They're loaded for bear. They're going to come out and just. I think they're going to set some Oklahoma City records this year for points per game, for number of games won. As long as their defense is if they can keep Cantor in check, they'll be fine.
All right, Danny, Portland.
Wow, the strength of Portland. Besides the fact it's going to be raining a lot this year, the strength on Portland's team, I think, to me, is their youth. The good thing about being youth is that you have a lot of energy, a lot of young guys who are trying to prove themselves. We already know Damian Lillard's already that guy there, but you have guys like Noah Vonleh, Miles Leonard. You have C.J. McCallum.
This is the day that we name drop the worst players in the NBA.
I mean, you have guys like that who want to prove themselves, to show people that they're not as bad as they are. I think Vonleh, like I said, and Miles Leonard are guys that you need to look at. Now, the weakness of Portland is that outside of Damian Lillard, there's not much there.
Right.
The cupboard is very bare there, no offense. But, I mean, Gerald Henderson, decent player. Like I said, we talked about Vonleh, unproven. They just have so many guys that you just look at like, blah. There's nothing really there.
Much like Denver, right?
Well, I mean, the cupboard is not as bare. I think it's not as bare in Denver as it is in Portland.
Not completely.
So, Paul, Portland, I mean, you got Denver, so what about Denver's strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah, much like yourself, there's not a whole lot of strengths to point to. You have a couple players in there. I'll start with. I guess I got to start with the guy that I'm watching this year is Moutier. Even though he's kind of unknown and unproven, I do think he's going to be a strength for their team. I certainly can't point to their big men and say that it's going to be a strength. Their weakness is definitely going to be in the middle. Nurkic had a decent year last year, but I don't think he is a starting big man. I mean, he may prove me wrong, but I was not impressed, with him throughout the year. I just, between him and Kenneth Faried, not really impressed with that front court. I got to point to that as the weakness. And, if I'm going to go with a strength, we'll go with Moutier. Chandler's more of a small forward. But, those guys are a little stronger than the big men. So, not a lot to talk about in Denver. Mark, what you got for Utah? What's the strength and weaknesses out there?
Utah, it definitely starts in the front court. Defensively, they can do a lot of damage, with Gobert and Favors. It really could be tough to score inside. Even Hayward, at the small forward, he's still 6'10", so he can bother, some shots in there along with those other big men. Trevor Booker, he's rugged, real rugged guy, coming off the bench, and they just have a lot of size and length, all over the court, to be honest with you. But the weaknesses, you have to look at that point guard position. It's just a problem. Trey Burke's back starting. Dante Exum, he's out for the season. Alec Burks, more of a combo guard than a point guard. How do they get the big men involved? I mean, you're trying to get Favors involved. You're trying to get Gobert involved. You have really shoot-first point guards. How are they able to do that? I just don't know if they can, and that's going to be a problem. Here's one thing, that I definitely, want to ask the panel. Best starting five in the division. And, Danny, I'll start with you. Who you got for the best starting five and the coach?
Wow. If I'm choosing the best starting five in the division, of course, point guard is Russell Westbrook. That's just simple. The two guard, wow. The division's kind of heavy centered. I'm not going to count Andrew Wiggins as a two guard. I mean, I think he's a small forward. I think
that's not what he's listed under Basketball Reference.
I mean, he's listed that way, but I'm pretty sure you'll see a lot of Kevin Martin at the two guard.
I'm going to cheat.
I know you could do that. But for me, I consider Wiggins a small forward. So I'm going to say at the two guard position, I like Alec Burks of the Utah Jazz at the two. The 3 is Kevin Durant, which is real easy, very simple. The 4, wow. I'm taking Derek Favors of Utah, and I'm taking at the 5 Rudy Gobert.
Both.
So, Tam, it's on you.
Who you got?
Since you want to cheat, go ahead. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to cheat because basketballreference.com lists Andrew Wiggins as a 2-guard, and I'm dying to have him play besides Shabazz Muhammad as the 3. So, but I'm going to go with Russell. You know he's my favorite player. Wiggins is a close runner-up to my second favorite player. Durant, obviously, at the small forward. I'm putting Serge Ibaka at 4 because we saw what happened last season when he got hurt. They went from being a top 10 defense to falling to 16th, I think it was. And I'm putting Rudy Gobert at the center. My coach is pretty simple because you've got Donovan, who's new. You've got Mike Malone, who I really like, but he's brand new. You've got Sam taking over because Flip's out. You've got Terry dealing with 9 players under 25 years old. So Quinn Snyder gets coach for me. But I do think Sam's going to make a difference, and I'll have a little bit more to say about that later.
I agree with Quinn Snyder on the coaching.
Yes, so do I. My 5, Tam, I gotta agree with you. There's no reason, especially with the teams we have here. I am using Andrew Wiggins in that shooting guard position. This might be the worst collection of shooting guards in the NBA as far as division goes. This is really bad. So I'm gonna go. I mean, if you don't say Westbrook here, you're obviously biased towards somebody. I guess Damian Lillard would be the next best. So it's got to be Russell Westbrook, Andrew Wiggins. I guess we'll put him at the 2. And then I'll go Kevin Durant. It's pretty easy there. I'm going to go with Favors as well. Tam, I know you like Ibaka. I got to go with the two-way ability of Favors and the rebounding. Ibaka just kind of is a little inconsistent for me. And I'll go with Gobert at the center position. Again, not really a strength of this division. Mark, who you got, buddy?
Shoot. I mean, of course you start Russell Westbrook at the 1. Of course I'm cheating like everybody else. Except Danny.
Yeah.
Wiggins at 2, KD at 3. Really 4 was tough. I'm leaning with Favors, so I'll go with him. But I'm like, Ibaka blocks everything, so I'm just like, I can understand how you could go there. And then 5, I'll go with Gobert, and that'll be the 5. And Quinn Snyder, that's my coach. I like him.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELC. Tam is going to come back with us after break for a couple more minutes. We still have who's going to win the division. And Tam has an interesting thing to tell us about the division this year. So we're going to get to that. So this is, like I said, Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELC. We'll be right back after the break.
Looking to expand your reach and following in all platforms of media? Need a jumpstart in expanding your brand to all markets across the world? SOFO is here for you. SOFO means something for everyone, and they help expand your business through all platforms of media. Need to grow on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram? Their experienced team expands your brand and puts your business in places you would have never been before. Call SOFO at 407-607-9862 or follow SOFO LLC on Instagram and Twitter.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the live debut of the Christmas Addict, presented by Hallmark Channel, Saturday, December 12th, 2 shows at Amway Center. Buy your reserved seat tickets now at livenation.com, Ticketmaster, the box office, or by phone.
Get your event tickets in a click at 740thegame.com. On sale now. The fall cycle scene at Daytona International Speedway, October 15th through 18th. And the UCF Homecoming versus Houston, Saturday, October 24th. 740thegame.com, keyword tickets.
This is the beat of sports.
There's a portion out there that takes their life of a message board or a comment section and social media that believes I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. And what are you going to do about it? Everybody becomes the bully tough guy. Well, I'm even reading today. People go, oh, hey, he plays Division I football. He's a big boy. Otherwise, don't play at this level. Get over yourself. Well, I lost money on the game. That's you. What possesses a human being to get on a device, to get on a platform, to go to a message board, to post a comment that encourages someone to take their life because a football game was lost? I don't want to know you. I don't want to know what you think. I don't know why you think that.
The Beat of Sports with Mark Daniels.
9 a.m. weekdays on FM 96.9 The Game.
Hey fans, this is Eric Kohler, stadium voice of UCF football. We invite you to tune in to EK Sports every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we feature the preferred picks of the week, insured by our good friends at Preferred Benefits Consultants, where it's always fun to pick those games of the week, but never a time to gamble with your health care. Find a Preferred Benefits Consultant at OrlandoHealthExchange.com. That's the letter X, OrlandoHealthExchange.com, and start saving today.
Are you looking for your dream home? Or are you looking to move out of your current home and find the home to start the next chapter of your life? Look no further. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty is your go-to guy to help you with all your needs. Specializing in West Orange County, Lake County, and Ocoee, his goal is to take care of you from the beginning to the end and is not satisfied until the job is complete. Stop by 401 West Colonial Drive, Suite 7, or give him a call, 321-945-6832. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty.
Tickets are now on sale for the event of the year, Cigars and Cars, Saturday, November 21st, presented by the Corona Cigar Company, iHeartMedia, and the Premier Auto Collection. At the Shrine Auditorium of Orlando, Cigars and Cars is an evening to remember with premium cigars, luxury and vintage cars, fine spirits, and samplings from some of the area's finest restaurants. Tickets are limited and available at Ticketmaster and all Corona Cigar Company locations. More info online and a link to purchase tickets at realradio.fm, keyword cigars. Brought to you by Dream Rentals, Great Bridges Jewelry, and ShopShipToShore.com.
Are you looking for a fun experience on the water with your family? Bring them to the Orlando Water Sports Complex, located off Highway 528 near OIA. The Orlando Water Sports Complex provides an experience you won't soon forget, featuring cable wakeboarding, as well as the Super Air Nautique G23, the world's best wakeboarding and wake surfing boat for guests to enjoy. For more info, visit actionparks.com. That's AKTIONPARKS.com. And tell them Full Court Press sent you.
The new FM 96.9 The Game, Orlando's sports leader.
We are back on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELC. To call in and talk to myself, Paul, Tam, and Mark, 407-916-8255 or 800-729-8255. We're going to finish up the Northwest Division for the next couple minutes. And so as we were going to break, we were talking about, the strengths and weaknesses, the best starting fives, and who to watch for in every team. But let's go and find out who wins this division, and we'll also play a quick game called Bold Prediction. So, Tam, in this wonderful five-team division
really?
we're talking about.
Who wins the division?
Okay.
Are we going to waste time on this?
We're all going to say okay.
Okay, here's the question.
Okay, everyone say it on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Oklahoma City. There we go. It's done.
Here's the question. How many games do they win by, and who finishes second in the division?
Ooh, so exciting.
There we go.
All right, Tam, go for it.
I'm going to go with this one.
Second in the division?
Yeah, and how many games does Oklahoma City win the division by?
They're going to do 60-plus.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win the conference, okay? I'm telling you right now.
All right.
They're going to win the conference because it's going to take a while to get Aldridge and West used to the ball movement and, what I think about the Clippers. So Golden State's going to have everybody playing their playoff game against them every single night. They got through a season being healthy. So I think OKC wins the conference and they win the division 60 easily. Second, maybe I should have. You're already setting me up because I've got a really bold prediction coming down the track here. I'm going to say Utah. I'll say Utah for now because this division is going to have in the West the team with the greatest rise and the team with the greatest fall in the West.
Mark, who you got, man?
Shoot. Of course it's OKC winning the division. I think they're going to win by a landslide. I think Utah will be one of those teams that will probably be hovering around 500, maybe a little bit over that. But I think OKC probably wins this division by maybe 15 to 16 games.
Wow.